Tonight on News Around the World, Senate approves President Tinubu's $516 million loan request. Court shields witness in coup trial. Governor Makinde seeks prayers over worthy successor. And on the foreign scene, 2 killed in Australia plane crash. Good evening, and thank you for joining us on News Around the World here on BCOS television. I am Idowu Shekoni. The sign language interpreter is Korede Oluleye. The Senate has approved a $516 million syndicated loan request by President Bola Tinubu to fund the construction of Section 1 Phases 1A and 1B of the Sokoto-Badagry Superhighway. The approval followed the consideration of a report during plenary presented by the Senate Committee on Local and Foreign Debts, chaired by Senator Aliyu Omako. According to the report, the loan comes with a partial guarantee from the Islamic Corporation for the Insurance of Investment and Export Credit (ICIEC) and carries a tenure of 9 years, including a grace period of up to 3 years. During deliberations, lawmakers highlighted the strategic importance of the highway project. Senator Tahir Monguno noted that the road was expected to connect 3 of Nigeria's geopolitical zones and significantly reduce travel time between the northern and southern parts of the country. The House of Representatives today amended the Electoral Act 2026, introducing a more flexible and technology-driven framework for the service of election petition processes as part of preparations for the 2027 general elections. The amendment followed the adoption of a report by the House Committee on Electoral Matters at the Committee of the Whole, presided over by Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu. The House had earlier passed 2 related bills for second reading before subjecting them to clause-by-clause consideration. Presenting the report, Chairman of the Committee on Electoral Matters, Adebayo Balogun, said the proposed changes were designed to eliminate ambiguities in pre-election litigation, improve efficiency, and reduce delays caused by technical bottlenecks. He explained that the amendments aim to provide clarity and certainty on the jurisdiction of courts in pre-election matters, enhance timely adjudication, introduce flexible and technology-driven modes of service, and curb delays associated with the service of court processes. The Federal High Court in Abuja today granted an application by the federal government to shield a prosecution witness in the ongoing trial of 6 persons accused of plotting a coup against President Bola Tinubu. Justice Joyce Abdul-Malik approved the request for protective measures after the prosecution argued that the witness, described as a serving officer, faced security risks if exposed during proceedings. The ruling came as the trial of the defendants commenced following the arraignment on the 22nd of April on a 13-count charge bordering on treason, terrorism, failure to disclose information, and money laundering. The defendants are a retired Major General, Muhammad Ibrahim Ghana, a retired Navy Captain, Erasmus Igogobia Victor, a police inspector, Hamad Ibrahim, and an electrician at the presidential villa, Zekari Umoru. Others are Bukar Kashim Ogoni and Abdul Qadir Sani, a cleric based in Zaria. All 6 had pleaded not guilty to the charges. Concerns have been raised over the state of Nigeria's democracy, with stakeholders describing the current system as a civil rule rather than a true democratic practice where public accountability and the will of the people are often undermined. These views were expressed by a veteran Labour leader, Comrade Emmanuel Ogudiro, and a publicity secretary of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Oyo State Chapter, Michael Ogunshino, during a discussion on, quote, 2027 Opposition Parties Summit Declaration, end of quote, on BCOS Current Affairs Program, AM 120. Our reporter, Fedora Afolagboye, has more.
Ahead of the 2027 general elections, opposition parties have convened a summit presenting a joint declaration centered on unity, electoral reforms, and national development. The development signals a growing alignment among opposition groups seeking to challenge the ruling party and redefine Nigeria's political landscape. Speaking on BCOS AM 120, veteran Labour leader Comrade Emmanuel Ogundiro described the coalition as a significant political development, noting that it is the first of its kind since 1983. He acknowledged that while the movement is still evolving, it reflects a renewed effort to reposition the country's democratic structure. Comrade Ogundiro maintained that Nigeria is operating under a civil rule rather than a full democracy, stressing that the coalition aims to restore democratic ideals and institutional integrity. He also cautioned that the nation is gradually drifting toward a one-party system, underscoring the need for collective action to safeguard democratic plurality.
I give it to whoever the convener is. I give it to whoever the convener is. It is something, and you will see that, I think it did the magic it was supposed to do. Because Yoruba will say, Kodumi, Kodumi, Ekanla Wima. So bá ti ń di pé ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ò dẹ̀ dùn mí o. Ṣẹ̀rọ̀rọ̀ kan yẹn, no, I was not bothered. No, it's a joke, they are joking. No, you see, that thing we were discussing the other time, it doesn't really pain me, but no, those people were joking. That means a message has been passed. You see that immediately after that declaration, the ruling party came about. They said they are joker, they are this. Then the factions of the parties, none of those parties, there is no party apart from the ruling party that is standing as one. All others that are relevant, they have one factions or the other. So you now hear the factions coming up to speak.
Also speaking, the Public Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, Oyo State Chapter, Michael Ogunshino, noted that the current political environment falls short of true democratic standards. He explained that democracy thrives on healthy political competition, warning that any tilt towards a one-party dominance poses a threat to democratic governance. Michael Ogunshino added that the coalition is designed to bridge this gap by offering Nigerians a credible alternative, emphasizing that it is people-driven rather than individual-focused.
True democracy is that in 2027 we don't reinforce failure. True democracy is that in 2027 we give Nigerians options and the privilege to pick among the options that we have. True democracy is actually agitating against INEC to do the proper and right thing in the interest of our democracy. Right? So the NEPUT agenda, all of it actually summarize how a properly functioning democracy should work. And the first thing we said in that particular communique is that we assured the APC and INEC that contrary to their plans, we are going to field candidates for all elected positions from state assembly to House of Reps to Senate to presidency. We're going to field candidates. APC will not be the only party on the ballot.
Both guests expressed optimism that if sustained, the coalition could strengthen democratic practice and promote good governance in Nigeria. Fedora Afolagbe, BCOS News.
You're watching news around the world on BCOS television. We take a short commercial break. Please don't go away.
Refreshment is goodness to go round in the Peak Yogurt Drink 1 liter Full House pack with more refreshment, which contains fresh cow milk. Enjoy Full House goodness filled with essential vitamin and minerals. Peak, reach for your peak.
Welcome back. Now we're in Oyo State, where the Oyo State Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, has urged residents of the state to pray for the emergence of a worthy successor who will sustain his administration's achievements regardless of religious affiliation. The governor made the appeal during a farewell ceremony for the state's 2026 Hajj intending pilgrims to Saudi Arabia. Details of the event held at the Olodo Hajj camp are presented by Governor's Office correspondent Olalekan Sulaiman.
The Oyo State 2026 intended pilgrims to Saudi Arabia converged on the Olodo Arch camp to meet and bid farewell to the state governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde. The event was graced by Muslim Ummah, top government functionaries, religious and political leaders, among others. In his address, the state governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, emphasized the need for continuity in governance, noting that the progress recorded under his administration should not be hindered by religious considerations.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣera wa lọ́kan. Ìlọsíwájú ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ó ní kẹ́ ẹ gbàdúrà fún, àdúrà wa sì gbà. Gbogbo ètò tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, mo nígbàgbọ́ pé wọ́n ti ṣe. Ṣùgbọ́n àwa náà a ní sùn títí tí ẹ fi lọ, tí ẹ fi padà wá bá wa láyọ̀ àtàlàáfíà.
Governor who pledged a donation of 2 new buses for utilities and logistic movement of the Arch Board members in Nigeria and Saudi Arabia charged the intended pilgrims to be good ambassadors of the state in Nigeria and in Saudi Arabia.
Alhaji Hashim Atere, the chairman board àwọn alálàájì, ẹ ó ní bí ti yàtọ̀, ó ti yàtọ̀ díẹ̀ lóòótọ́, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́? Ó ní Christian ni ó bẹ̀rẹ̀, Christian ni á parí ẹ̀, kò ní mínì lọ́dọ̀ mi. Torí pé kò sí fámìlì ẹnì kankan nínú wa tí ò sí Kristẹni tí ò sí Mùsùlùmí bẹ́ẹ̀. So anything tá a bá ṣe, a ṣe fún family o, ẹnì kọ̀ọ̀kan wa náà ni.
In their goodwill messages, the Deputy Governor, Barrister Lawal, and a former Speaker of the Oyo State House of Assembly, Senator Monsura Sumonu, described Hajj as a sacred obligation that demands discipline and devotion. They charged the pilgrims to remain focused on the spiritual essence of the exercise and to remember Oyo State and Nigeria in their prayers.
Gbogbo àwa tí Ọlọ́run wá kà yẹ lọ́dún yìí láti múra láti lọ sílẹ̀ mímọ́, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ẹ̀ bóyá wọ́n ti máa wá sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ẹ̀ pé iṣẹ́ hajj là ń lọ sí o, kì í ṣe nǹkan míì. Gbogbo wa àràfà alánàbọ̀ lọ́lọ́run ṣe fún wa.
Earlier in his welcome address, the chairman of the Oyo State Pilgrims Welfare Board, Muslim Wing, Sheikh Hashim Atere, commended Governor Makinde for his unprecedented support, which he said has ensured a smooth preparation for the 2026 Hajj exercise. It is closed that the first batch of the 1,036 intended pilgrims from the state will be airlifted to Saudi Arabia on Sunday, May 3rd.
Rírì gbogbo pàtẹ́kù lórí ayé yìí. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú nǹkan kan tí kò hàn sí àwọn èèyàn ní àjì ọdún tó lọ. Ní àjì ọdún tó lọ, processing BTA ó fẹ́ pẹ́ díẹ̀. Nígbà tí a dé Èkó láti fẹ́ gbéra, gọ́ngọ́ fẹ́ sọ ojú ẹsẹ̀ tí gómìnà ti gbọ́. Ó ní wọ́n ti ránṣẹ́ wípé chairman ní gbọ́dọ̀ wà báyìí, wọ́n ní mo wà ní Ìbàdàn, mò ń ṣètò láti tún máa kó second batch lè kú. Àwọn first batch ń kọ́ ọ̀nà ń bẹ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́, ọ̀yà máa lọ bí báyìí, mo ti arrange fún yín àti escort tí ó escort yín ẹ lọ máa ṣètò rẹ̀ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́. Gómìnà ni wọ́n rescue wa ní ọjọ́ náà tá a fi rárá láì.
Highlights of the event included Quranic recitation and special prayers offered for Governor Seyi Makinde. Olalekan Sulaiman, BCOS News.
The group chairman of Oodua Investment Company Limited, Otunba Bimbo Ashiru, has pledged stronger collaboration with the Olubadan of Ibadan land, Obarashidi Adewolu Ladoja Arusa I, to accelerate economic growth and investment in Ibadan. The assurance came during a courtesy visit by the company's board and management to the monarch and his advisory council at the Olubadan Palace, Okearemo, Ibadan. Staff reporter Adebayo Abdurrafi has more.
The visit underscores renewed efforts to reposition Ibadan and the Southwest region as a major economic hub through strategic partnerships and investment-driven initiatives. Leading the delegation, Otunba Bimbo Ashiru described the Olubadan as a visionary leader with strong economic insight, noting that the palace had already initiated discussions on areas of collaboration. Otunba Ashiru highlighted the importance of small and medium-scale enterprises, describing them as critical drivers of economic growth globally. He assured that Odua Investment Company Limited will work closely with the palace to support initiatives aimed at boosting local businesses and expanding economic opportunities.
Southwest is a state that is endowed with a lot of mineral and natural resources and good people. Free education started from Southwest. You could see that Paolo and Co, they are ahead of us. They knew what they were doing. And they were young people, they saw it, and to have the first 25-story building in Africa, the first television station in Africa, even before France, to see that these people, they have vision, and we don't want that vision to die. We want to keep their legacy.
He disclosed that the Olubadan Economic and Investment Committee is scheduled to meet with OICL on May 6th to explore strategies for joint economic initiatives. Otunba Ashiru also revealed proposals by the monarch for the transformation of Ajay House into a vibrant economic hub, adding that the company remains open to supporting credible investors. The Odua chairman further appreciated the monarch's historic role in sustaining the company, recalling his contributions during his tenure as governor of Oyo State. Otunba Ashiru also provided updates on key projects, including the ongoing redevelopment of Premier Hotel and the refurbishment of Cocoa House aimed at restoring Ibadan's economic prominence. Responding, the Olubadan of Ibadan land, Oba Rashidi Adewolu Ladoja Arusa I, expressed confidence in the capacity of Odua Investment Company Limited to compete globally, urging stronger synergy among regional development institutions. He emphasized the need to harness local resources, including mineral deposits, and explore opportunities in independent power generation and infrastructure development. Oba Ladoja also reiterated his vision of restoring the Southwest historic position as a leading economic region in Nigeria.
Odua is an investment company. The bottom line is profit. The other one is the development commission. So if Odua is ready to put a factory somewhere and there's no road to the place, I expect the development commission to help them put the road there.
In his remarks, the group managing director and chief executive officer of OICL, Abdurrahman Yunusa, appreciated the people of Ibadan for sustaining a peaceful and hospitable environment conducive for business operations. Highlights of the visit included the presentation of the Oriolokun brass sculpture and other gift items to the monarch. Dignitaries at the event included the Otun Balogun of Ibadan land, Oba Kola Adegbola, the Osi Olubadan, Oba Abiodun Koladaisi, the Ashipa Olubadan, Oba Amidu Ajibade, the Ekerin Balogun of Ibadan land, Oba Akim Adewoyin, and former President General of the Central Council of Ibadan Indigene, Chief Bayo Oyero. The Odua delegation later conducted an assessment visit to Premier Hotel, where renovation work is ongoing ahead of its planned commissioning on June 25. The renewed partnership between the Olubadan Palace and Odua Investment Company Limited is expected to open new frontiers for economic development in Ibadan and the wider Southwest region. Adebayo Abdurrafi, BCOS News.
As the world marks World Immunization Week, the message this year is clear. Vaccines work, and they work for every generation. From birth through early childhood, immunization has continued to save millions of lives globally and remains one of the most cost-effective public health interventions. Our reporter, Awao Ibrahim, observed that vaccination in Nigeria has significantly improved child survival, with far fewer deaths from diseases that once claimed many young lives. Our report is presented by Bimbo Akobi.
Immunization remains a critical tool in preventing childhood killer diseases, and safeguarding the health of future generations. Since its introduction, vaccination has protected millions of people worldwide, including over 150 million children. For more than 5 decades in Nigeria, immunization has played a vital role in reducing the spread of diseases such as measles, polio, diphtheria, pertussis, and other life-threatening infections. Speaking on the significance of the week, the immunization facilitator, Oyo State Primary Healthcare Board, Mr. Adedamola said the campaign is aimed at raising awareness and sensitizing communities on the importance of vaccines, particularly new introduced ones like the human papillomavirus, HPV, and malaria vaccines.
We have a structure we call World Development Committee, and this committee comprises of the community leaders within the settlement. We have the religious leaders. We have different community-based organizations. These are the people who made up of this committee, and their sole responsibility is to sensitize and help the facility at their settlement to make sure that whatever activities we are carrying out at that level is being publicized, is being synchronized to the community, which this is one of the structure we are using to tackle vaccine hesitancy.
In an interview with BCOS News, Mr. Adedamola noted that while vaccines are central to child survival, they must be complemented by other essential health measures. He explained that in many communities, especially high-risk areas, factors such as proper nutrition, timely treatment of childhood illnesses, and access to clean water are equally important in ensuring children's well-being. He also urged parents to adhere strictly to their children's vaccination schedules to guarantee full protection.
As a parent, because if you missed any of the vaccination, your vaccination is not complete. And such a child, if exposed in one way or the other to any of these diseases being prevented with this vaccination, will surely come down with that disease. And we are saying to our parents, please and please, let the children complete their vaccination so that they can protect themselves and the nation at large can be void of diseases.
As the world observes World Immunization Week, Nigerians are encouraged to take advantage of available vaccines and adopt coordinated approach to child health, ensuring that every child has the opportunity to live, grow, and thrive.
We have another timeout. News around the world. We'll be right back. Please stay tuned.
When malaria knocks you down, you can be sure parasites are having a party in your system.
Welcome to our new kingdom, guys!
Comel, an effective weapon against malaria. Attacking the parasite army directly to give you express relief and get you back on your feet effectively. Comel on. Malaria gone.
Refreshment is goodness to go round in the Peak Yogurt Drink 1 liter full house pack with more refreshment, which contains fresh cow milk. Enjoy full house goodness filled with essential vitamin and minerals. Peak, reach for your peak.
My skin is my identity, my strength. It's unique and deserves care made specially for me. New Nivea Radiant and Beauty Even Glow, enriched with 95% pure vitamin C and pulp extract. For visibly radiant and even-toned skin in just 2 weeks. New Nivea Radiant and Beauty Even Glow, for your shade of beautiful.
Welcome back. Organizers of the 2026 Shaki Bere Festival have called on the federal government and the Oyo state government to support tourism development in Shaki with a view to unlocking the economic potential of the Oke-Ogun zone. The call formed part of discussions at a press conference held in the premises of the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, Basoro, Ibadan, where the planning committee unveiled activities for the 2026 Shaki Bere Festival. Our man, Adebayo Abdurrafi, was there and now reports.
The Bere Festival evolved from the traditional practice of removing the Okere of Shaki's palace using locally sourced thatch material, symbolizing communal responsibility and unity. It also promotes environmental sustainability through traditional regulations guiding farming, hunting, and bush burning. Addressing pressmen on behalf of the committee, Chairman of the Saki Parakpo Development Association, Mr. Wole Oladokun, described the Bere Festival as one of the oldest cultural celebrations in the region. He noted that beyond its cultural significance, the festival presents opportunities for tourism expansion, economic growth, and community development. Mr. Oladokun disclosed that the committee has initiated discussions with relevant government agencies, including the Oyo State Ministry of Culture and Tourism and the Nigerian Tourism Development Authority to secure institutional support. He stressed that tourism remains a major source of non-oil revenue globally and could significantly boost the economy of Saki and neighboring communities if properly harnessed.
During the festival, after doing the palace and the buildings, then it has as a mark of respect also, as a mark of appreciation. So, as you see, we also come out 3 times. That's the second day. The second day, that's the Auto. And you see there, Soko Day. On Soko Day, that is also will come out 3 times in different areas.
He, however, identified critical areas requiring government intervention, including security, road infrastructure, and other social amenities, noting that the community alone cannot shoulder the responsibility. The committee also highlighted several tourist attractions within Shaki and its environment, including Asabari Hill, the Osuru Waterfall, and Oge Dam, as well as local industries such as shea butter production, all of which can be developed to attract visitors. Preparatory rites for the festival commenced on April 28, with the traditional 13-day notice expected to be issued by the Okere of Shaki, Oba Khalid Oyeniyi Oyedepo III, ahead of the main celebration. Activities will begin on May 10th with Ibori Day, featuring prayers for past monarchs, drumming displays, a 21-gun salute, and cultural performances. Other lined-up events include homage visits, traditional dances, royal feasts, masquerade display, gelede performances, spiritual rites, a public lecture, and women-led cultural processions.
People purchase from the booth, and the visit. So that is also, you see, after person leave, they will demand it. They will bring it from, they will look at it, they will carry it from the booth to the. So that is when we have to say, okay, let me also show people. So that is when we will raise the bundle of a better, first time, second time, third time.
The grand finale is scheduled for May 18th at the Oyo State Agricultural Development Program Sports Complex in Shaki, where top government officials, traditional rulers, and cultural enthusiasts are expected to converge. Expected guests including Governor Seyi Makinde, Deputy Governor Bayo Lawal, Senator Fatai Buhari, members of the State House of Assembly, and other dignitaries. Organizers say with adequate support, the Shaki Bere Festival has the potential to become a major cultural and tourism destination in Nigeria. Adebayo Abdurrafi, BCOS News.
Christians have been admonished to live lives that reflect the character and teachings of Jesus Christ at all times. The charge was given by the Diocesan Bishop of Ibadan, Church of Nigeria, Anglican Communion, the Most Reverend Joseph Akinfenwa, during a commendation service in honor of the late Chief Mrs. Grace Ebu Delano. Staff reporter Adebayo Abdurrafi reports from the Cathedral of St. James, Okebola, Ibadan.
Delivering his message, the Most Reverend Joseph Akinfenwa described a true Christian as one who consistently demonstrates Christ-like character in all circumstances. He noted that the late Chief Mrs. Grace Ebundelano lived a life of service to God and humanity, giving of herself willingly and selflessly. The cleric remarked that her passing on Good Friday, which also coincided with her wedding anniversary, was symbolic, adding that she finished well because she was not merely a churchgoer, but a committed follower of Christ. Quoting from the book of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 21, the bishop emphasized that believers are pilgrims on earth, noting that death for a Christian is not an end, but a transition to eternal glory. Tributes were also paid by various groups, including the Young Women Christian Association, Sunday school teachers, members of the Cathedral of St. James, Okebola, as well as colleagues from the West African College of Nursing and other professional associates, who all attested to our impactful and exemplary life. Following the service, the remains of the deceased were moved to the house, where family members, staff, and mentees gathered to eulogize our legacy of service and mentorship.
Chief Mrs. Grace Ebundelano was a pioneer. She is a legend. She's a prolific writer and scholar.
I wanted you to come here once more. I wanted to remember you in this building.
Rest in peace, Mama. We love you. I love you. There you go.
The body will subsequently be moved to Ifo in Ogun State for the continuation of the funeral rites. The life and times of late Chief Mrs. Grace Ebundelano remain a testament to dedication, faith, and selfless service to humanity. Adebayo Abdurafi, BCOS News.
May her soul rest in peace. You're still watching News Around the World on BCOS Television. We pause for another commercial break. When we return, it will be time for the sports segment of the news. Please don't go anywhere.
Supramult Multivitamin Junior.
Good evening and welcome to the sports segment of the evening news. My name is Toby Ajewale. Nigeria Super Falcons will face the winner of the first round tie between Sudan and Comoros in the second leg of the CAF qualifiers for the women's football tournament at the 2028 Los Angeles Olympic Games. The draw ceremony took place today at the Confederation of African Football headquarters in Cairo, Egypt. A total of 35 African nations entered the qualification process, which is structured in 5 knockout rounds played on a home and away basis. Only 2 teams will eventually earn Africa's slot at the Los Angeles 2028 Olympics. Sudan and Comoros are scheduled to meet in the first round between June 1st and 9th, with the winner advancing to challenge the Super Falcons in the second round set for October 5th to 13th. Nigeria and Zambia's Copper Queens were the continent representatives at the 2024 Paris Olympics. So with football stories, players at this year's Summer FIFA World Cup could be shown a straight red card for covering their mouths when speaking to opponents during on-pitch confrontations. Additionally, players who leave the field of play in protest at a referee's decision may also face immediate dismissal. The International Football Association Board, IFAB, unanimously approved the 2 FIFA proposed amendments during a special meeting in Vancouver, Canada on Tuesday. The changes were designed to tackle discriminatory and inappropriate behavior including potential racism and unsportsmanlike conduct. Both measures will apply as competition opt-ins and have been confirmed by FIFA for the 2026 World Cup. The referee will retain absolute discretion considering all circumstances before issuing a red card. The decision follows high-profile incidents, notably the case involving Benfica winger Gianluca Prestiani and controversial scenes at the African Cup of Nations final between Morocco and Senegal. And in Europe, holders Paris Saint-Germain survived a 9-goal thriller, defeating Bayern Munich 5-4 in the first leg of their UEFA Champions League semi-final at the Parc des Princes on Tuesday night. The match lived up to its billing as a clash between two of Europe's highest-scoring teams. 5 goals were scored in a frantic first half as PSG took control in the second period, opening a 3-goal lead at one stage, only for Bayern to fight back and reduce the deficit to 1. The result leaves the tie finally balanced ahead of the second leg on Munich on Wednesday, May 6th. The winners will face either of Arsenal or Atletico Madrid, who play tonight in the final in Budapest. Finally, in sport news tonight, from boxing, promoter Frank Warren has confirmed that Tyson Fury could take an interim fight before facing Anthony Joshua, but the long-awaited all-British heavyweight clash will not proceed if Joshua loses his warm-up bout. Both two-time world champions have signed a deal to meet later this year. However, 36-year-old Joshua must first overcome little-known Albanian opponent Christian Prenga on July 25th in Saudi Arabia. Warren, who represented 7-year-old Fury through Queensberry Promotions, revealed that the Gypsy King stands to earn a career-high purse against Joshua, potentially surpassing the reported £80 million he received for his 2024 fight against Alexander Usyk. Fury, who returned from a 15-month layoff with a points victory over Aslanbek Makhmudov in April, is keen to stay active. Warren expressed strong preference for the fight to be held at the Wembley Stadium, calling it the national stadium where it belongs, although Saudi Arabia remains a possible venue as they are funding the contest. He suggested the loser of Fury versus Joshua may retire, while leaving open the possibility of Fury pursuing a match with undisputed champion Usyk. And that will be all, and it's back to news around the world. My name is Toby Ajowole.
Thanks, Toby. On the foreign scene, 2 people have died after a small plane crashed into a hangar at an airport in South Australia. Foreign desk editor Falashade Akintola compiled the story and others as presented by Bimbo Akobi.
Burst into flames at Parafield Airport in Adelaide after it crashed on Wednesday afternoon local time. South Australian Premier Peter Malinauskas wrote on social media that a number of others have been injured. The plane involved was a twin-engine Diamond DA-42. According to the Australian Transport Safety Bureau, which has launched an investigation into the accident. According to the manufacturer's website, each Diamond DA-42 aircraft can seat up to 4 people. The South Australian Police said in a statement that the immediate area has been evacuated as emergency services deal with the incident. A man has been detained after stabbing 2 people in North London, according to a local Jewish volunteer security organization. The man was seen running along Golders Green Road in North London, armed with a knife and attempting to stab Jewish members of the public, the group said on social media. He was reportedly detained by members of the public before police officers tassered and arrested him. The 2 people stabbed are said to be receiving treatment at Zola, a Jewish volunteer ambulance service. Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer condemned the utterly appalling attack and vowed that those responsible will be brought to justice. Jewish Charity, the Community Security Trust, said it was working closely with the police and urged anyone with information to contact the police, Shomrin and CST immediately. The Board of Deputies of British Jews said, "We are liaising with the CST, government and police to understand what has happened and ensure a forceful response." The incident took place not far from where 4 Zola ambulances were set on fire in an anti-Semitic hate crime on Highfield Road in April. There has been a string of arson attacks targeting Jewish sites in North London. And finally, Ukrainian regional government officials say Russian attacks across Ukraine have killed at least 3 people and injured 17 during stalled United States-led talks to end the war in Ukraine. The head of Donetsk military administration, Vadim Filashkin, said on Wednesday that at least 2 people were killed and 4 wounded in Russian attacks in the region over the past 24 hours. In a message on Telegram, Filashkin said 19 Russian attacks on Donetsk damaged dozens of houses, apartments, buildings, and infrastructure facility and a minibus. The Interfax news agency reported fighting in the region forced the evacuation of 867 people, including 34 children from the front line in the past 24 hours. In a separate Russian drone attack, 1 woman was killed in the northeastern Ukrainian border region of Sumy. The head of Sumi's regional military administration, Oli Horov, said on Telegram the strikes deliberately aimed at residential buildings caused large-scale fires, and a 60-year-old resident of one of the buildings died from carbon monoxide poisoning. Bimbo Akambi, BCOS News.
To end news around the world, here again are the top stories. The Senate has approved a $516 million syndicated loan request by President Bola Tinubu to fund the construction of Section 1, Phases 1A and 1B of the Sokoto-Badagry Superhighway. The Federal High Court in Abuja today granted an application by the federal government to shield the prosecution witness in the ongoing trial of 6 persons accused of plotting a coup against President Bola Tinubu. Oyo State Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, has urged residents of the state to pray for the emergence of a worthy successor who will sustain his administration's achievements regardless of religious affiliation. And on the foreign scene, 2 people have died after a small plane crashed into a hangar at an airport in South Australia. The BCOS website is live. Kindly visit it at www.bcostv.com. You can also watch us on GoTV, channel 134, and on StarTimes, channel 113. Now, before I go, don't join hoodlums in threatening the peaceful coexistence of the country, for it is only in an atmosphere of peace that development thrives. That's news around the world from me and the crew here. Many thanks for watching. Good night.
Football lovers, movie lovers, family entertainment fans, get ready for something big because StarTimes is giving you Over Jara. For a limited time, when you recharge for 2 months, you get upgraded to the next bouquet free. That's more sports, more movies, more kids shows, more entertainment at no extra cost. Over Jara. StarTimes.
Transition to glory. With gratitude to God for a glorious and fulfilling life of impact, we announce the passing of our beloved mother, aunt, sister, grandmother, and matriarch, Chief Mrs. Grace Ebun Delano, co-founder and former vice president and executive director of the Association for Reproductive and Family Health, ARF, and wife of the late Honorable Justice Isaac Babatunde Delano, who slept in the Lord on Friday, the 3rd of April 2026, at the remarkable age of 90. She is survived by her children and grandchildren. Funeral arrangement: Wednesday, 29th of April 2026, commendation service at the Cathedral of St. James the Great, Okebola, Ibadan, Oyo State, time 2 p.m. Thursday, 30th April 2026, funeral service and interment at Cathedral of the Holy Trinity, Okenla, Ifo, Ogun State. Time, 10 a.m. Our beloved mother, Chief Mrs. Grace Ebun Delano, will love you, but God loves you more. May your soul rest in perfect peace. Amen. Sunreo. Announcer, Mrs. Yejide Weiss, for the family.
Joy Digital Life.
Before, my family can go 1 week without drama. 1 week, one wahala. Mama, brother, papa, sister, before. Any beef supposed to stay inside bottle.
Maggi Star is crafted from fermented soybeans, onions, chili flavor, and cloves in a way only Maggi knows.
Okay, now my Maggi native rice. Come with piece of peace. Oh no, come at all, oh, before. Maggi, oh,
Maggi Star, making every meal special and special moments unforgettable.
Maggi, oh, love, me and Maggi so good together. Me and Maggi so good together.
Nigeria. We've always been a communal nation. But how do we prove this and how do we access essential services? Introducing Local Government Proof of Address Initiative. It's your key to a more secure and prosperous future. With the POA initiative, it has become easy to track and prevent crimes. Imagine this, a customized verifiable proof of address issued by your own local government where you reside. No more guesswork.
With my new proof of address, getting a bank loan was so easy. It was easy to know exactly where I live, and I felt so secure.
I used mine to regularize my business. It was fast, efficient, and the officials were on hand to help me with the process.
This is about a verifiable system that unlocks opportunities for everyone. The Local Government Proof of Address Initiative secures your future. Prove your address and help build a better Nigeria. Visit your local post offices and selected registration centers today.
Announcer, Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, NIPOST and Algon.
Pẹ̀lú ọpẹ́ sí Ọlọ́run fún ìgbà yìí onígbàgbọ́ rere, akéde ìpapòdà màmá